Hello and welcome to another edition of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Melendez, joined always by the Kimmelnator, Josh Kimmel. And there it is, as you saw at the intro. SummerSlam is a week away, and this is our preview show as we'll make our predictions, discuss every match, break it down, and go from there. But before we roll into that, let me ask the one and only Josh Kimmel, how the hell are you, man?
Feeling pretty good, man. Pretty buzzed. Went to a wedding. Just got back. It was the first retirement home wedding I've been to. Legit, it was in a retire. I'm not even joking. It was in a retirement home community.
That is
it
so
was
cool.
it was a nice venue, but then they don't live there. They have the house. They're still able bodied, but they just were
Come
able to find.
on.
They were able to find a clubhouse, which is in a retirement home. So like it was a nice clubhouse. We got
Oh, wow.
we got
Okay.
kicked off the piano because I let the kids play the piano, and then
You
the
got in
nice
trouble?
lady came over and said, "Excuse me, this is not a toy."
Oh, geez. Oh,
And I
Lou.
said, "It's okay." And she was nice, and I was nice, but yeah, I mean, if I see a piano and I have kids, we're trying to do Beethoven. But
Yeah.
anyway, so it's been a great day, great week of wrestling, another great
Yes.
week.
Very eventful. Very
Um,
eventful week.
gonna be honest, and I'm gonna tell some maybe things that you don't like. Did not watch SmackDown again. Didn't even want to, and I think I know why.
Okay.
And I don't want to make this a whole side story. It's just we talked about how the bloodline's getting interesting now, and we have things going on, and it's kind of like, okay, this is the thing. But in my eyes, the two main stories in professional wrestling at the moment belong on Raw with Liv and Dom and Rhea, and of course Drew, Seth, and McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Cody in my just eyes is third or fourth because I think I value MJF and Osprey over anything Cody's doing right now. So kind of when your biggest story is fourth or fifth in the batting order, in my eyes, I'm just not that interested to tune on a Friday night. I'd rather hang out with the kids. I'd rather watch the Olympic ceremony. That's what we did. And today I had the wedding, so I couldn't really watch. That's the other reason I didn't have time to watch it today. I will, but man, it doesn't seem like tune in television to me right now. But I'm
It,
but I'm in the minority.
that's okay. That's okay. Can't hate on that in regards of again, I would say the biggest MVP of SmackDown was Jacob Fatu. I mean, it was so smooth watching him. There was this one segment in the match where he um threw up I think it was Gargano. He threw up Gargano in the air, caught him, Samoan drop, then ran to the turnbuckle, jumped on the turnbuckle, did not climb it, jumped it, then did a transition backflip, a flip, in the air and landed on top. It was a beautiful thing. I think that's what won the match. But anyway, that was the MVP. And I get what you're saying with Cody Rhodes. I mean, it's kind of it's easy. Yeah, Joe for 2 was awesome. What's up, Justin? Great to see you on here, brother. Co-host of the Ruckus Wrestling Podcast on Ruckus Entertainment YouTube channel. But Jacob Fatu was the MVP. I mean, he really stood out. And again, you can't lie. Right now, the most interesting stories in WWE right now is Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and of course now Seth Rollins, who, as we predicted, would be the now special guest referee. But you said, awesome week of professional wrestling all around. Wrestling is very interesting. You discussed this actually. It was funny. I saw a tweet, and it was from a separate wrestling social media page, and you kind of brought this up. I don't know if it was on air or off air, but how we don't get breaks in between anymore. There's no real day unless there's no wrestling, no pay-per-view or PLE. There's no real break. You have Raw, Dynamite, Rampage, you got SmackDown, you got NXT, you got TNA. Everybody's starting to really pay attention to TNA now. And it was just so funny that you see that, and it's true. It's wrestling is really going on the up now. But for content creators and even wrestling fans, you never really have a day to just chill unless you don't just care about a particular brand. But Wednesday night, Blood and Guts AEW was in Nashville. I did not go. Full disclosure, I did not go. I did follow it. But the main match kind of, was sort of like a War Games type of matchup, which was pretty interesting. So that was kind of like a oh man type of moment for me because I would always love those type of matches, and I probably would have liked to see that. Except, I mean, obviously, when you got the freaking thumbtacks and the there's some
Staple guns,
staple gun and everything, kind of gets to me a
barbed
little bit like,
wire.
all right, we're kind of getting a little nuts here. But hit me with it, man.
All
You
right.
follow AW, what's going on?
Yeah, so Blood and Guts was one of those shows where we actually, I do I do a fantasy show, fantasy football show every Wednesday night. So I'm always behind on my Wednesday night Dynamite. But I'm so glad we postponed this week's because of Blood and Guts. It wasn't the main reason why we postponed it, but it was that's why I did it. Because I wanted to watch Blood and Guts in full because I wanted to see the full match because it's been going on longer than just this year, Bobby. It's an annual thing. So this is, I believe, their third match. Cody wanted to do it when he was there and brought it into AEW. That's why they do it for Dusty. And then now NXT has theirs, but NXT's been having theirs. Two great matches. Not going to say one's better than the other. Just they're different. AEW is more brutal. You have some things that you don't really see in other companies, national televised companies. You had the big spots with Anthony Bowens falling off the side of the cage into 4 tables, right? You had the spots where Darby Allin climbed on top of the cage and did a coffin drop right
Yep.
on top of I believe it was Okada. I might be wrong on that one. Could be someone else. We saw Jack Perry get a clean, unprotected chair shot to the head. That's the big one that people really, really, really. And guys, I'm not on Twitter. I don't know this stuff, but it got to me still. It still got to me when I'm hearing it on the radio, Bubba Ray Dudley or Bully Ray, and everyone bringing it up. So, Bobby, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to go off on this real quick.
Okay.
This is one of the main reasons that turns people off of AEW. The nonsense with all of this, whether it be lighting people on fire on television, whether it be nonsense spots where you don't need to do on a Saturday night show that draws 300,000 people. You're doing it for nothing. You're just doing it to do it. And the fact that Jack Perry, who has been known to have stupid ideas with real glass, Cry Me a River, and now wants to do this, like I'm sure he's like, oh, this is going to be so cool. I'm going to look like this scapegoat chained to a fence over here, a cage, and just hit me in the head as hard as you can. It's going to look so cool, bro. There's no one there that can talk them out of this idea. That's why that's why all of this happened, because CM Punk was trying to talk him out of a bad idea. Now there's no one there left that can talk these kids out of bad ideas. And it's not going to be worth it in the end when, number one, you're not growing your television show because nobody wants to see this. 2, you're going to shorten your career because all the concussions you're going to take. And 3, nobody cares. Nobody's going to remember. Not one person's going to remember. So these unnecessary chair shots in a meaningless feud. The feud means nothing. Mark Briscoe did it. What does Mark Briscoe have to do with Jack Perry? There was no meaning there. Now, if it was Swerve and Hangman to switch the roles, there's meaning there. I would understand it. Okay, Swerve really hates Hangman, or Hangman really hates Swerve. It's an unprotected chair shot to the head. It's still, I still don't approve of it, but at least it makes more sense. But now we just have Mark Briscoe for no reason doing it to Jack Perry with no payoff, no like, oh man, that was so. It was just for an effect, just for you to go, wow, ooh, the brutality. It's nonsense. When WWE puts on their War Games, there's not as much action. It's a lot more boring of a match. You see, everyone does the same spots. It's fine though because they're safe. But you know what they do well? They tell a story. Sami Zayn coming in there proving himself with the bloodline, right? I'm sure, I'm sure I'm missing some because guess what, guys? I used to not watch them because of how boring they were. They got better, especially the whole Sami Zayn situation. AEW is just a mess, just a complete nightmare. I just don't understand what they accomplished. The only thing they accomplished in that match on Wednesday night, which is a great match, Like if you like wrestling, the only thing they accomplished was Swerve and Hangman, and how that should be your main event for All In. But you had Bryan Danielson versus Swerve for no reason, with no story. But you highlighted Hangman and Swerve, and it felt real. That was the first night I ever felt Swerve was a world champion. And that's the first time I looked at Adam Page as a real heel. The first time. And they're not even main eventing your main show. And it's the longest story you've been telling. That story's been going on for months and months and months. And it's the best story they have. And it's not your main event at All In. Make it make sense. But back to the chair shot. Like, just make it make sense. But back to the chair shot, man. How are your thoughts on that? Because you don't see that much anywhere.
Yeah, I know people say, oh, this is not WWE. WWE is kind of, more aware of, hyper aware on protecting their guys, and they ban the chair shot, the head shot. And, it kind of takes away from matches. It takes away opportunities to make the match more interesting. But again, when you go back and you look up these chair shots, the most brutal chair, I actually just saw that. I think, and maybe it was on the algorithm or whatever you call that, because I watched that match, or I watched part of that match. And so then it showed me the most brutal chair shots in WWE, and it showed JBL smashing Eddie in the head, and Eddie got busted open. Showed McMahon get a couple chair shots. It showed, but and it showed it, even Undertaker, he smashed Maven and blah, 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 blah. And I'm seeing these, and I was like, God dang, the Jack Perry one was just as brutal. Here's the difference. Obviously, it's unnecessary. You don't really need to do it. You could have done something better, or made something that was more whoa compared to that. It's unnecessary. It's risky. And again, it's unprotected. And this guy, his hands are here. He can't do nothing. Concussion, whatever. Was it worth it? Are you going to be remembered tomorrow? People 10 years from now go, man, remember when Jack Perry took that chair? No one's going to give a shit about that 10 years from now. But here's the difference between those WWE headshots and that one headshot. I'm not going to say all of AEW. I'm going to say that one headshot. You just went on a 5-minute thing about it could have been Swerve to Hangman, or Hangman to Swerve, because they have a history. It meant something. Those chair shots from WWE, when you look at those brutal headshots, they mean something. The feud between JBL and Eddie Guerrero was one of the best feuds in WWE. Those two guys, what they were able to do when JBL smashed Eddie, you knew that there was hate there, even though obviously they don't hate each other for real. There was, that story had legit heat. With the story about the border and everything else, JBL being who he was, smashing Eddie with a chair, it meant something. It's like, God dang, he really hates Eddie. I mean, he busted his ass open. Shawn Michaels to Vince McMahon, he hated McMahon. That was a story. There was a story there. It meant something. It wasn't just, oh, Bob Holly smashes Crash Holly in the head, and it's like meant nothing. It's like, oh, big spot. No, it has to mean something. This didn't mean anything. This was just two randos, and I'm not saying they're both random guys. People know who Jay Briscoe. They all know who Jack Perry is. But again, if it was freaking MJF smashing whoever, I'm forgetting his name right now. Help me here, Ospreay, or vice versa, it would mean something. Then it's like, damn, this is going to further, or Danielson to Moxley or whomever. It was random. Is it Corey Graves? It was an announcer in he's an announcer in WWE, former wrestler. He posted something about it, took it down not too long after, but he didn't say their names. He didn't mention AEW, but he said the unprotected chairs aren't worth it. The memory lapses aren't worth it. Too many guys, and even the older wrestlers now, they talk about it, where it's like, man, how wrestling is now. Too many of them want to do all these big ass spots with the risk of just, getting a pop without actually developing anything. Hogan has said it. Austin has said it. They've all gone off. I mean, I was just listening to a Stone Cold Steve Austin audiobook, and he was bringing that up. And this is just a big ass reason why, or this was a pure example of that. So it was unnecessary. It didn't do it. I cringed more than I popped, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. I laughed at the staples. I think the staples were ridiculous, but I laughed at that. The whole finger, caught it with the finger and then getting stapled. Yeah. That was funny, but it's not going to give you, unless you get a tetanus shot, it's not going to do anything to you. The chair shot can actually hurt you. It was a stupid thing. and it meant nothing. It didn't add anything to the match, in my
No,
opinion, at least.
no. Mark Briscoe will be back on ROH. Nobody's gonna care, and Jack Perry is gonna beat, you know, Darby Allin at All In. Like it didn't mean it meant nothing. I'm just glad. I'll just say this: I was really worried they were gonna light him on fire for real because that's how stupid they are.
Yeah.
I was ready to turn the television off at that point because I didn't like it when they did it at the pay per view. Because it's so unsafe, and it's so unsafe to do it with these guys. So,
And Justin brings up a great one. Rock versus Mankind. I quit. Met chair shots over. Yeah, right there. Those were ridiculous. Yeah, that's that. Then those make me cringe too. Again, though, those two hated each other. Those two, that feud right there, the Rock versus Mankind, before they were Rock and Sock, they had a good feud back then. So those chair sets meant something. And Mankind was that guy. He was the guy who's just give me everything you got. It's not going to work. And every time Rock would do it, Mankind kept coming back. That's the point. Which it's like, why would you do that though? It makes no sense. I mean, I don't know. And instead of having a legit discussion, that he's saying Corey took it down because the AEW trolls were coming after him. Instead of having a good discussion with people acting like, how dare you quit? That's the thing about this world society we live in, without getting into certain discussions. It's a toxic atmosphere. It's, with Dolphin fans, it's Tua. You start talking about Tua, you have all these types of camps come out. Politics is another thing. Wrestling is like that now, where it's like, you can't say anything negative about AEW because then you're going to have all these people come at you. Or whatever. It's a sad world, but we don't care. We keep talking. Let me say, Michael Vogel's in the house. Great to see him. Of course, Justin, Vince Stanza, Evan Posner, of course, making a joke about Real Talk Rants taking over, like the NWO invading our show earlier and taking our studio. But that's okay. We fixed that. He says AEW needs to stop being like ECW. It's not enjoyable anymore. It's not something enjoyable anymore. Happy birthday to the happy almost birthday to the GOAT. It is I think he's talking about me. I don't know. I would say I'm the GOAT. That's cool. But it is my birthday tomorrow. So yes, very cool. Appreciate it. Terry, we appreciate you watching no matter what. Grown men talking about fake wrestling. Just like a couple grown men talking about Marvel or DC or any kind of thing on TV or a movie. We just talk about wrestling. But yeah. Anyway, moving on, if you're cool with that.
I am cool. One little 2-second thing about AEW, I have to ask you: did you see the new belt? Did you see the new belt?
US belt, the American belt?
Yeah,
I did, and I think it looks really nice. It looks old school. I really do like it. I'm a big fan of, first off, the WCW United States Championship. I love that belt. I think I'm not saying, I'm which I am. I love America, whatever. But I love the United States belts. I do.
Okay.
I've always liked them. But yeah, MJF is so damn good as a heel. That's so true, Justin.
Yeah,
and thank you, Justin.
I do like that he's back as a heel. And I did like the touch with his faces as the stars. That was a great segment going up against Joe Biden, and they did that intentionally with the whole American belt and everything. They had to have. I hope it stays. I hope that's their new belt because the international belt is trash. It's already been a name change, three name changes. It was
really?
Yeah, it started off as the Intercontinental. No, not Intercontinental. God darn it.
Continental?
No, because they still have that belt. I think someone has that belt.
Justin might know.
It was something Continental. It was something where it didn't make sense. I gotta look it up. Good, but it was something so bad. All Atlantic, because it was so hard for me to say all Atlantic, then international. Now it's the American. Yes, the All Atlantic, and they had the flags on the belt were wrong or something. I forget. Justin probably knows what he's talking about. But anyway, great segment. Love that MJF's a heel again. I just wanted to see if you saw that. That's all. We can go to the SummerSlam preview.
Yeah, I did see it. And again, I thought it looked really cool. I like the strap. I like the look of it. It rolls perfectly with MJF. But again, I thought I had read was that he was planning on traveling the world and defending the title around the Intercontinental or the International Championship. But apparently maybe not. I don't know.
It's a great story going into London with the American belt. Yeah, going.
I like it. I thought it was. I think it's a good story. Hey, AWO has some good looking belts. AEW has some great looking belts. Obviously, I think the AEW World Championship looks way better than the WWE Undisputed Championship. I don't like the big W. That I like belts. The big gold is my favorite belt in the whole world.
Mhm.
NWA is a beautiful belt. I love the NWA. Winged Eagle was a beautiful belt. This when they started doing the big W, I just think so cheesy. I don't know. I'm not a fan. That's why I prefer the World Championship Damian Priest's title over the Cody Rhodes belt.
Me too.
Even though there's a big W there, I mean it's right there.
It's right
but
in the
still.
middle though. But
That's like the tag titles look beautiful. I love the tag titles right now. It's different. They're nice. I think the women's Liv Morgan's title looks really good. But yeah, AEW always does really well with their belts. That's one thing I'll give them. They look really nice. But SummerSlam next weekend, Saturday, live from Cleveland, Ohio.
And we will be live following.
Yes, we will. We will be live right after SummerSlam to give our live reaction to everything that goes down. No matter what hour it ends, we will be here and we'll discuss every little thing. But before we do that next weekend, we are going to run down these matches and kind of give our predictions on how it's going to go. The first match I see here, and I highly doubt it would be the first match on the card, but it's the first one I see and we will discuss, is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. I will say another tweet that was tweeted and was quickly taken down was the Drew McIntyre troll tweet of him and Jack Perry together. And then I saw another CM Punk opponent tweet it with his face smiling. I think it was you who reached out, who sent. I saw it, and then I think you sent it to me. I thought it was amazing. I loved it. I laughed out loud, and I just think Drew McIntyre again, like The Rock did with the Cody rivalry, he has taken full advantage of social media, and I mean he's doing it so freaking well. He is doing a real masterclass to all the other guys out there that are maybe aren't right at the store of being a main eventer or trying to get there. See what he's doing and learn from it. You don't have to have TV time, which he has plenty, but you don't need to have TV time to put yourself out there, but also elevate your feud. These guys, those ones who are like, man, we need better TV time. We need, blah, blah, blah. We need ring time. No, use this. Look what Drew McIntyre is doing. Look what The Rock was doing on a part-time basis and what he was able to do. This right here, I laughed out loud. Of course, he quickly took it down. I'm sure CM Punk was aware of it. Maybe it was Triple H or companies. Hey, man, we don't want other guys from other companies getting the. But I loved it, and it just makes this match so much more important. It's already on code red in regards of how important it is to the wrestling fandom. How are you feeling about this match? How do you feel about, before we get into predictions, how do you feel about Seth Rollins being added to it as the special guest referee?
Man, before we get there, I want to know who set that photo up. Who sent the DM first? Who said, "Hey, we should link up"? That's what I want. I want to know the story.
First off, it was in Nashville, right? They had to have gotten that at Blood and Guts. It was posted after Blood and Guts, wasn't it? He lives here, I think. I think Drew McIntyre, because he's been at Nashville Preds games. I've seen him hang out with Sheamus and stuff like that. So I have to assume he was there. That was probably taken backstage before or after that event. It has to be before because he got belted during that match. Was it Drew? It has to be Drew. Drew probably said, "Hey, can I take a quick picture with you?"
Do you think Drew would ask Jungle Boy to take a picture?
I have to assume Drew. Of course, he probably attended the event live. Obviously, he has friends there. They probably invited him there. Obviously, he's not going to be shown on TV or nothing. And I'm sure he saw Jungle Boy and he said, "Hey, can I take a quick picture with you?" Oh yeah. And he posted. He right away put that on Twitter.
I have a theory.
Okay.
CM Punk knew this was going to happen. CM Punk set it up because he's had interviews post fight. Yeah, Jack's fine. We're cool. He said that many times, multiple times. Okay. It was just a scuff. It was just a fight backstage. That happens all the time, right? I bet you CM Punk set that up and said, "Hey, this will be really funny," or "This would draw up some attention." Punk, I guarantee, and he probably has his phone number. Jack was one of the guys he wanted to work with on Collision. He said this multiple times in interviews.
Who do you think took it down? Was it? Do you think it's WWE said take that down?
Probably. But I
Because it's
guarantee you Punk was involved. Guarantee it.
Oh, I have to believe Punk was involved. Even as much as those two hate each other on screen, they're working. And same thing with Seth Rollins. They're all working behind the scenes to bring out the best freaking story.
Because I don't think Drew would try to, because Drew's a company guy and Punk is trying to be a company guy as well. He's changing his ways. He is a company guy now. I bet you they're like, hey man, like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, I can text Jack right now, or I can call Jack. We'll set it up. I guarantee it. Anyway, but I'm just talking shit. I don't know, but I'm just saying that'd be pretty. I mean, it's just cool. I just love this version of
Could be
CM
Tony
Punk.
Khan who said take it down. I mean, Tony Khan probably told Jack, hey, call him, take it down.
It could have been, but here's the thing. I just think it's so cool that I like Punk now, and I think he's a. I just like
it's
Punk.
a huge turnaround for you because beforehand, I remember when he was in AW, or you would tweet a lot and you would tell Pepsi Phil can't stand Pepsi Phil.
Yeah,
but
I dig him.
He's really taken advantage of course what happened with AW, but he's really turned to, at least showing on screen, he's really turned a leaf. And he, the story right now is that he's working on a new extension with WWE, and he wants to retire in WWE and eventually work or take over NXT. We'll see how that goes, but it is cool. I don't know how many years he has left, but obviously he has maybe the top storyline going into SummerSlam, and what seems to be like a WrestleMania card type of SummerSlam here. But CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, I'm going to be honest. A lot of times when you're looking at these type of matches, you have an idea who's going to go over. But I'll say this, but for this match, you can make a case for both sides who could go over. I mean, obviously CM Punk, this is his first singles match in how many years in WWE. He's supposed to be the face, even though you can legitimately make a claim he's the heel in this story. Drew McIntyre, again, you want to make him look strong. He could go over. But right now, if you had to say, if you're booking this match, or let's say this is your prediction, you're not a booker here. We're not bookers. You're predicting this match. Who do you predict Triple H says goes over on this match?
CM Punk.
Okay.
No questions. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Drew's lost. Never lost heat. Never lost any kind of momentum. Actually, hotter than ever. He can lose matches. And still be hot. CM Punk has yet, in my eyes, proven himself in WWE. When's the last time we've seen him do anything? Prove it. We need him to win. The fans need him to win. The fans also need Seth Rollins to count 1, 2, 3 for CM Punk not wanting to do it. That's the story. It's setting up CM Punk and Seth. Now, you can say, well, is Seth going to turn heel and screw CM Punk? Possibly. Maybe. I don't know. Because, they love their heel versus face. You can never have a whole storyline of face versus face or heel versus heel over there. They just don't do that. So maybe Seth does turn on CM Punk and Drew gets the win. But I think Punk has to win here. And I think it has to be a slow burn with Seth's heel turn. If they're going to turn him heel, it can't just be on SummerSlam one night. That wouldn't make any sense. That's Vince McMahon booking. So we'd have to count 1, 2, 3, be upset that he did it, kind of get angry with it over time, and then just snap. Because CM Punk keeps on saying it. You counted for me. You helped, blah, blah, blah. Keeps on egging him on like CM Punk always does. And just pushes, Seth over the edge, and now he's a heel Seth. It has to be. But, you're right. There's so many different angles to this. So many.
It is. And, I understand your pick, your prediction. I can't argue that. But I will tell you that I do believe what you just finished with. I think that may be the route to go. I mean, I think that's the biggest swerve you can do besides the main event, which we'll follow up with. I think Drew could go over in this match, and I think because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. This could be the play in the match. I think that's how it goes. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but you get the point. Whatever.
You get the point.
Whatever, But you could see that, 1, 2, oops, type of moment, gets him over the GTS, hits it 1, 2, Seth stops. CM Punk looks, and then maybe does the curb stomp, and then you have heel Seth. Drew goes over, and then you kind of put CM Punk against these two guys, and then now you have a heel Seth, which is better than a face Seth every day, every day of the week, and you continue to and you keep Drew strong, but you also keep CM Punk strong, losing in that fashion, a betrayal, and then think about the firepower he's going to have behind him. I think this could be Drew McIntyre going over in a Seth heel turn. I feel Drew's going to go over. I don't think it would be bad CM Punk goes over. Obviously, it's going to get a major pop. It's the first match in how many years in WWE, singles, but Drew McIntyre, I think, will go over. And I think for the very reason why what you stated at the end there, this could be a Seth Rollins heel turn against a CM Punk. This will be a fun match. And Justin agrees. He thinks this match could go either way, a few different ways.
When we break down football stats and Tua does this in the playoffs, and we look at the history, right? We like to know these things because you can project forward into what's going to happen next year, the years to come. Same thing could be said about wrestling and how bookers book turns and book stories. We thought Chad Gable was going to turn just like that. He just now officially turned, and that was like 8 weeks ago. We thought he was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to take the gradual turns. He likes to play the long game rather than just boom, overnight, this guy's a heel now. He never does that. Triple H back in NXT didn't even do that. I mean, a couple times with Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens and all that stuff, but still, the majority of the feuds or the majority of the turns take weeks and weeks and weeks. So that's my only thing is I'm just predicting that, but I love both. Look, you can do that. Turn Seth heel right away. Okay. But at SummerSlam, when you have a possibility of Roman happening, don't you want to save your big pop or big something for the fans for the Roman entrance, not for a Seth heel turn?
I don't know. I get that. I don't know if that matters because it's a summer. It seems like a WrestleMania type card where you could have a couple pops, major pops. With Seth Rollins, I understand your point. I think it's legit. With Chad Gable, it's different. Chad Gable is, even though he's been around for a little bit, he hasn't really made that major thing. He's on a different level of Seth. Seth is up here. Seth has been a major heel in wrestling. Again, it's like Triple H. Triple H in his prime could go from heel to face, and won't miss a step. Seth is in that spot where you could easily make and set up another major story for the next several months with Drew involved as well by curb stomping CM Punk, giving Drew the win. And then you have, the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of scenario. And you have these two kind of against CM Punk and give CM Punk two ultimate heels to deal with for several months into going into possibly WrestleMania season. I think Seth could do it. I think Triple H would be. It's the same thing as Randy Orton. Even though Randy Orton kind of is teasing, he hasn't done anything, but he's, a little bit of stares here. And that's Randy Orton. I don't know if that's Triple H saying, hey, look at that. No, that's Randy Orton maybe looking at the long game here going, hey, I could do this, and maybe it's not in the story right now. Maybe nobody's talking about it, but if I just do that one little look at the title, and every time Cody brings up, I'm the world champion, that little look, it's like, oh, look what he's doing. Oh, he never does anything else. He's holding him up. He's looking at that belt. Those subtle things. That's different. But Randy Orton's another one where he doesn't need a build to be a villain. He could easily 1, 2, 3 RKO. Holy crap. He did. Shawn Michaels was another one. Shawn Michaels, when he was a face after he came back from retirement, everybody loved him unless you were a Canadian. Everybody loved him. But Shawn Michaels could easily, when he was in Canada and he called out Bret Hart and music hit and everybody popped and everybody was ready to hate Shawn Michaels again, that's how quick he does it. When he faced Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam, that build up, he was a face. Oh, I'm tagged with Hogan, blah, blah. Super kick. All of a sudden he's a heel again. That's what Seth is. He's in that stratosphere.
But again, I will say this, and I did say it in my first statement, Seth turning heel overnight is Vince McMahon booking. And everything you just said was Vince McMahon booking. I just brought up Triple H's booking. He doesn't really do that. So we'll see. it could happen. And if it does happen, I'll be happy.
But you did say Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn has done that.
Yes, that's one
So
situation. But they had
not
a
like
long history. But they had a history before, and the people that watched NXT back then knew their history from way back in the
and
day.
everybody
So
knows CM Punk and Seth Rollins' history. They got
do
history,
they?
bro. Right? No?
We'll
It's the
see.
Shield. The Shield.
Hey, we'll
Cussing him
see.
out at War Games.
We'll see.
But I digress. All right. We just talked about Sami Zayn. Let's continue. This is a big match. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Before I roll into this, does this match change? Does Dragunov get added to this match, or does it stay the same? Do you want to see it become a triple threat? And how do you see it playing out? Does Braun Breaker walk out the Intercontinental Champion?
Hold on. On my site, I'm on CBS Sports. They have it a triple threat match.
Do they really?
Yeah,
I
they
don't have
do.
it there. Okay. Did they switch it up?
On CBS, they have it triple threat. Justin, you know more than us.
All right, this was written on this was sent out on the 25th. So when was yours? I think
23rd. The 23rd.
Okay. Maybe that's where it's going. Maybe it hasn't been officially announced. I mean, but I again, so let's play it both ways here. If Dragunov is Dragunov, first off, is red hot. The fans love him. He's putting on bangers. I mean, the matches he's been doing, I mean, for his size to feel legitimately like he is kicking ass in the ring, he's doing amazing. No, it's not a triple threat at this point. So let's play it both ways here. Mm-hmm. If it's Seth versus Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker, first of all, it's going to be a great match. No, it would not surprise me if Sami Zayn went over because it is Sami Zayn. And again, they've had great matches and maybe you want to continue the story. But I'm with Justin here. I can't see Braun falling twice here. I think Braun Breaker, if it's just the two of them, Braun Breaker goes over. I think Braun Breaker will go over either way, no matter who you put in this match. He needs a belt. I think he will look really good with this belt. Continue. It's going strong with Sami, but it will go very strong with Braun. Braun goes over. What say you?
Man, he has to, but I'm looking at the other cards or the other matches. And I'm like, well, how many title changes are they going to have potentially, Because there's going to be a lot, in my opinion, if we keep going, every single freaking title except for one. So do they do that? Is this their reset? Is this where they're going to reset all the titles? Because
how many title changes do you see? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
see
6.
1, 2,
There's 6.
3, 4.
There's 6 title matches, right?
Wait, you know what? We're not going to spoil the rest of the preview. We'll get there.
Well, I know, but still, I mean,
there.
All right.
Just saying, there's a lot of title matches where people are like, well, LA Knight better win or, S or get off the pot. And there's a lot of people going, well, Nia's got to win because the story is with Tiffany and Nia, not Bailey. She's not really focused. A lot of people are saying, man, Gunther's got to take this title off of Damien. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of like, man, so that's what I'm saying. How many titles are they actually going to change?
Okay.
On SummerSlam? Someone's going to retain people. But I don't think it's going to be Sami Zayn. I think they got to get him out of the storyline. They got to get that belt off of him, and they need to prepare him for the upcoming Civil War with the Bloodline. So he does need this title off of him. And Braun Breaker is the perfect person to take it and run with it and have great feuds with Dragunov and Sheamus and, the rest of the powerhouse mid-carders over there, because that's going to be a hell of a run with Braun, and he needs to take it all the way into WrestleMania.
There you go. And if Dragunov is added, does it change? Does Dragunov sneak a big win here?
I just hope they don't add Dragunov to take the L. I hope Sami Zayn's the one who takes the L. Honestly,
he gets pinned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
if you add him to the match, you just don't want him to take the pin. I think I'm cool. I'm with you on that. Sammy's safe to take the pin. It doesn't hurt Sami. It's still Sami. Let's see here. Yeah, then I'm gonna say here, Jey Uso. I agree with Rikishi. It's a criminal that he's not on this card yet, or in this big event.
Who, Jey Uso?
Jey Uso, yeah.
Well, Jey Uso will come back.
Yeah, I know. He may be involved in this match somehow, or in this card somewhere.
He may be involved in somewhere later in the card. You never know.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Next one is Logan Paul versus LA Knight. So, and that is for the United States Championship. You have said Sami Zayn will drop his belt to Braun Breaker. Does Logan Paul drop his to LA Knight?
It's another one where people are like, man, it's Logan, it's LA Knight's time, right? He's mega over still. How many WWE does this thing where when someone's mega over, they just don't care. Like, okay, cool. Like I think it's a thing where they think they'll stay mega hot and they don't need a prop or a belt to get hotter. So is this a situation where Logan Paul keeps it because we like seeing heels carry titles? Or is this a situation where LA Knight wins and he finally gets his title, but then where does he go from there? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, before you answer your prediction, another thing to put in there in regards of a Logan Paul victory, if Logan Paul was to win and why he would continue. Logan Paul is not just a top heel, but and a strong opponent for any guy he goes against in a feud. And he had a very good damn promo a couple nights ago, I think, on SmackDown. I think it was nights ago. But anyway, he's also a national brand. People don't realize that with his big podcast. I mean, he's taking photos with presidential candidates and with the title, and he's having the big belt is sitting there as he's doing his podcast. That has to count for something where they go, hey, this is getting a major viewing. Now, LA Knight, of course, red hot. A title would be great. But like you said, that's the ultimate question. Where does he go from there? So what happens here, man? Does Logan Paul keep this belt?
No, LA Knight's going over. I'm going LA Knight. I'm going LA Knight. And here's why. When Logan Paul retains this title, what other mid-card major babyface can he feud with next? Because I feel like he's beat them all. I'm going through the SmackDown roster. I'm thinking, and Justin, throw them in the chat. If you're watching, there's 29 of you watching right now, whether it be X, YouTube, Twitch, wherever we're on, Facebook. Some of you may give me someone, a baby face that he can face. Because that's what I'm thinking about. What's next for Logan? Because after this, there's no one else. I don't think. Not, you win against Cody, you lost. Now you're going against LA Knight, which is one of the top 5 baby faces on that brand. So maybe LA Knight takes it and he goes against all the heels while some other baby faces get back. That's the whole point of passing these things from heel to baby face, people. The heel goes through a bunch of faces. One face gets it, goes through a bunch of heels, and by that time, they're supposed to be building up more the cycle. So maybe it's about time where LA Knight does take it, go against some mid-card heels, beat them up, and while some other guys work their way up the ladder or put themselves in different situations ready for another champion. You know what I mean? That's my only thing is where does Logan Paul go now? There's nowhere but down. So it is time to drop it. And just because for storyline purposes, Logan Paul could take a break, come back around SummerSlam, Survivor Series, or the Rumble. Because guys, he's an attraction. He's not a full-time wrestler. So that's my thoughts. Not if he wins the title or keeps it, retains it, I'm cool with it too. Because I think he's a great champion.
Yeah, no. Dude, you make a lot of sense. I kind of want to go Logan Paul just to go the other way on you. But I mean, again, it makes lots of sense. And Justin in there putting, Santos Escobar,
Yes.
Carmelo Hayes against LA Knight. Absolutely.
And guess what? Those were all heels being built up while a heel was holding the United States champion. So now it's their job
to
build up some baby faces.
Fair. Has Logan Paul faced Randy Orton yet?
I mean, do you think they would really wrestle for the United States Championship?
Yeah, it's a spot filler. I mean, and again, it's
but Orton's looking at the.
That's how I feel when you put Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. I'm like, really? Are we going to do that? And they did it. I mean, what's up, CWM McDonald, man? Appreciate you watching. Good evening, brother. Appreciate you watching.
Hey, see, I got a question for you, CWM. We just asked the question: who do you see? If Logan Paul retains against LA Knight, and anyone else watching in the chat, who's his next competitor as a mid card babyface on SmackDown? Who would you like to see him go next? Put him in the chat.
Is Andrade on SmackDown?
I don't know. I don't know where Andrade is. I think he's on Raw.
I think SmackDown. Yes.
Uh,
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, McDonald. I do. Do you see Roman returning at SummerSlam? We're going to talk about that.
I
But yeah,
don't.
I've said that already.
I am 50-50 on Roman returning.
But Andrade is another one on SmackDown. He's a face, so there's a mid-carder.
El Idolo. Yeah, so there's another one. Perfect.
But Justin's right. You're right. I think if LA Knight winning title, you got two prime storylines right there, feuds to build off of. And Santo Escobar needs to be involved, and I think more than Carmelo is obviously going to do, and he's getting up there, but Santos Escobar is so underrated, so damn good as a heel, as a competitor. I could see it. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna roll with you. I'm gonna say LA Knight. LA Knight wins. So it's Braun Breaker and LA Knight winning. And for me, McIntyre, you CM Punk. So
listen, dream match for me with the United States Championship. Then we'll move on to the next one. Have Tommaso Ciampa break off with Johnny Gargano. Have Tommaso Ciampa be the heel he was in NXT. And let's get a Ciampa LA Knight feud for that title. Why not? Dude, if you didn't watch the NXT stuff way back when Ciampa was champion and a heel, and you missed out on one of the best things that WWE ever produced. So go back and watch that if you have not. Ciampa should be a legit mid-card heel, not stuck in a tag team.
He was one of the better heels, and he was like MJF. He took the heel thing really seriously. He did not break character, at least when the cameras were on at all at any point. Moving on. The U.S. title is very interesting and where it could go. You just brought up another one. Even as a face, you could put him against LA Knight, but again, it'd be more interesting as a heel. Next one is a pretty big one. It's Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Again, well, I'm going to ask this straight up. Who wins?
Liv. And it's because I should have brought this up when we talked about Seth turning. They're not having two turns in one night, people. They're not. They would not step on it. Seth would not say, or whoever would not say, the producer of this women's match would not say, hey, you're not stepping on my Dom heel turn with your Seth heel turn. It ain't happening. Or vice versa. They don't do two of those in one night, by the way.
Dom heel turn?
Dom's turning.
He is a heel.
Well, is he right now? I mean, Rhea's a baby face.
Rhea's a baby face, but he's a heel. He's that annoying little brother that's hanging around.
He sided with his baby. He sided with a baby face. He's kind of being a baby face, pretending like he's on her side.
But nobody's buying that. Nobody's buying that.
Rhea did.
Rhea, that's in their little world, but the fan base doesn't. Well, everybody expects him to turn on her.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the story.
I've been saying this for a while. It is a Paul Heyman, Big Show, Brock Lesnar turn. So that's 1, 2, pull the referee by the shoe.
Yes, and that's why they're not going to have the Seth turn later, or earlier, or whenever that match happens, because you're not going to have two turns in one night. But yeah, Liv has to win this. She has to win this. She has to win it with Dom. This has to be an entire setup. It wouldn't make sense for Rhea to come back and win right away. Rhea's going to get the title, just as a big babyface role, right? Because right now Rhea is Judgment Day Rhea. Like, still, she's a babyface, but she's still heel Judgment Day Rhea, but acting like a babyface. She has to win this back from Liv, fighting against the odds, going against Dom, getting revenge, being upset. That's the story. So Liv has to take everything from Rhea, because that's something she said she was going to do. She has yet to complete that goal.
Dom will turn on her at SummerSlam. The Judgment Day will turn on Rhea probably the following night. That's what's going to go down. They're going to turn her, because remember, even Finn Balor, JD McDonough, they were kind of defending Liv to Damian Priest, and Priest will eventually break off from it.
Priest is getting kicked out.
Yeah, Priest and Rhea will be on the opposite ends of that. What's this?
I think Damian Priest and Rhea get kicked out of on Monday night. I think they both get kicked out.
Yeah,
Same,
I
same
think I
night.
think they're gonna be in the ring with both of them, and it'll be like a whole mafia hit. I have a feeling it'll be a great turn on both ends, and then Liv will be fully entrenched with the Judgment Day following that. And my daughter will have a broken heart, you know. And it's funny because this whole thing, she's like, she hates Liv. She hated Liv, all this one. But then when she sees Dom kind of liking on Liv and everybody kind of liking on Liv, she's kind of like, she made a little playlist. My daughter's 11, so she made a playlist with Liv, and she's like, look what I did, Dad. I'm like, I see. So you see, you're kind of rooming. She goes, no, I'm not. I say, yeah, we'll see. I said, what happens if Rhea leaves the Judgment Day? What's going to happen? She goes, I'll still root for her. I go, well, then you're not really a Judgment Day. You know, poor thing. But I can't wait to torture her with that. The other women's championship match, WWE Women's Championship, Nia Jax versus the champion Bayley, title on the line. Again, obviously, I think Liv retains her championship, and I know you're leaning Nia.
Unfortunately,
and again, she looked very strong. I like what they've been doing with her before Queen and King of the Ring, or King of the Ring, whatever it was called. But I just don't see it. I think Bayley's going to go over on this. I can't see Nia going over.
I hope you're right. I really do.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hope you're right.
I mean, again, I'm not hating on Nia. You know, I think we all know how Nia is, and I love the personal shots in this storyline where it's gone, where, you know, she called Nia called Bayley big BBL or something like that. I don't know what she called, but something about her butt, you know, making a comment about her butt. And then the next week on the simulcast, kind of like what we're doing here, Bayley said to her, you know, I got injured not because you're strong or you're this, it's because you're you're not careful. You know, you're this and that. She real life things she was throwing at her. Mm-hmm. So I think Bayley is coming off much stronger in this feud. Nia has helped Bayley kind of get a little higher. Before, Bayley was kind of like a stand-in champion, which is kind of crazy to say for someone like Bayley. But now it seems like to me like she's legitimately very important. You know, she's made herself important in this feud. So that's something good that Nia has done. But again, Nia doesn't seem like someone who's about to win a title. I can't see Nia with the belt, you know, all of a sudden, you know, I don't care about the Tiffany Stratton's great. I'm not saying anything there. But I could give a rat's ass about Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax. You know, I know they're together. I get it. But it doesn't, I don't pop when I see Nia look at her when she's about to cash in. It's like, who cares if she cashes in? Get out. Move out of the way. You know, so I think Bayley's going over. I think Bayley has pushed herself to a point where she's going to get over.
I hope.
Right there. That's right here. That is a great point. Could that happen? Could it be a WrestleMania type of moment for Tiffany Stratton in SummerSlam?
Did Tiffy get a briefcase yet? Didn't Bayley destroy it?
She did, and I think she will probably on Friday. But then she's probably going to hold it longer.
Exactly. She's not cashing in. And if Nia Jax wins, which I hope not, I hope not. What's the story? What's next? Tiffany turns on Nia, and now we have to turn Nia as a babyface? Ain't no way anyone's rooting out for Nia Jax or feeling sympathy for her ever.
Great point. Oh, well, there you go. Okay. So very quick. So this usually is the other case. When the opponent wins, it's the opposite one that wins the match. So if Nia beat Bayley with the finisher and pinning her to make her look, she pinned the champion. You know, it's usually the champion goes over at the next match. So great there. And here you go. No new briefcase last night. It was still taped up. So if she goes into SummerSlam with that briefcase still beat up, then all bets are off. But if it's a brand new briefcase next Friday night, then she's probably going to hold it for a while, i.e. Damian Priest.
Yeah. And you get a customized briefcase. It's gonna be on www.shop.com.
That's correct.
And it's gonna be held for advertised weekly.
But this is a great point by Justin, man. And guys, let me just say, everyone who's watching right now, everybody who's tuned in, wherever you're watching, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, we appreciate you. If you're watching anywhere other than YouTube, hop on over, hit that like and subscribe button. But if you haven't yet, if you're watching us, make sure you check out Ruckus Wrestling Podcast on Ruckus Entertainment on YouTube with Justin Toner and Josh Mabry and the crew over there. They put out great content. And I'm sure they're going to have a show later this week previewing SummerSlam as well. But that is something, a wild card right there is Tiffany cashing in and pulling her Seth Rollins, Damian Priest moment. Talking about Damian Priest, always, brother, always. Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Most people, probably 90 some odd percent, believe Gunther will go over. Why not? I mean, this guy's been destined for a long time to be the world champion. Damian Priest, at the beginning of his reign, did not come off strong. He felt like a stand-in champion. But I mean, he has really carried himself to the point where he makes the world championship look important. He makes himself look even more important. He's had some very good, damn good matches. We both think he's had the better 100-day plus reign between him and Cody, where he's made it where it's like kind of like, okay, who's actually going to win this? You know, every time you think Drew and Seth, oh, one of those guys are going to go. Drew's going to go over. Damian goes over. Drew and Seth, oh, one of those guys are going to go over because they got to face Gunther. Damian has gone over. So I ask you now, could Damian defy the odds one more time and retain the World Heavyweight Championship?
So he could, if he wasn't already set up for feuding with Finn Balor. He's the babyface in this situation. That's the weirdest. He is, and that's the weirdest thing about the whole Judgment Day dynamic. Your top stars, Rhea and Damian, are heels, are in a heel group, but they're baby faces. Because they're going against massive heels. And Gunther. Gunther is a massive heel. He's probably the best heel on Raw. And he's no nonsense. He reminds me of like if he was a running back in the NFL, he'd be Gus Edwards. There's no nonsense. Just right up the middle, 5 yards, banging heads, slapping, chopping chests. That's what he does. Chopping chests and power bombs. Powerhouse. He's gonna go ahead and smash Damian Priest. It's gonna be the most brutal match Priest has ever been in. If Priest was a full-on heel, yes, I would think, yeah, he could win this. But since she's a babyface and Gunther is destined to win, we all expected him to win. This is probably the lock of the night.
Interesting.
Triple H may swerve us. He may swerve us. But what's the point of beating Gunther twice right now? What's the point of that? There's no point. He just beat Randy Orton. You can't come off of a huge win in Randy Orton in the King of the Ring to lose to Damian Priest. You can't do it. You have to ride that momentum. People take him serious. He's a legit. We asked about, hey, what's going to make this title
a
serious?
Questionable win.
Still beat him. Still beat him.
How much TV time has he gotten? I mean, just last week on Raw, I think it was Raw. It was the last Raw where he had. And forgive me, guys, it's been a long week for me. Daughter's been sick and all that, so brain's a little fried. That's okay. But the big brawl between him and Damian Priest, that was the only time where they had on air and great promo work and brawling with Damian. And they did not. It wasn't like he went over on Damian. Damian looked strong, and Damian is not just some rando. Damian has gone over on Drew McIntyre. He's gone off of both Drew and Seth Rollins. I mean, he's come off pretty damn strong. So it's the same thing for me is how do you have him go over on these guys just to go lose on Gunther, who barely is on TV right now?
But you're talking about, you said, hey, Gunther won questionably. Dude, Drew did nothing to beat Drew McIntyre. That was CM Punk. So you can't say, well, Gunther.
Well, I'm just saying. But again, who's had more TV time? Who's been put on the forefront more? My thing is this. You say, can Gunther lose twice or be beat twice or whatever? This is the world title. To me, there's a world title that will change at SummerSlam, and it's not Damian Priest. I predict Damian Priest will go over Gunther. I think Damian Priest will go over.
Oh no, you're crazy, man. You're crazy.
No,
you're crazy.
I'm telling you right now. I am telling you right now.
This is bananas.
The Judgment Day will get involved. Damian Priest will fully break away. Finn Balor's going to try to run in the ring. Priest is going to throw him out of the ring. He's at the top Gunther. And at Monday night, when he says, hey, man, I'm sorry. I love you. We're brothers. I just can't have you in there. Priest will turn on Damian Priest, and it'll be Finn versus Damian Priest for the world title. Gunther will win the world title at WrestleMania. It will not be SummerSlam.
This is bananas. This is just
what? I'm just telling you. Hey, don't spoil the show. Don't spoil the show.
Like,
just wait
this
for
is the
it.
first time where I'm like questioning reality tonight, and I question reality almost every day. This is the first time.
I know that. Yeah.
This is the first
don't
time.
say it out loud, but okay.
I just don't understand what's happening. So okay, all right. So you truly think that Gunther, one of Triple H's diamonds in the diamond of the roughs, one of his,
is Damian Priest.
Okay, you think they're in the same tier?
Yes.
Really? Gosh, I just can't put Damian Priest in that tier. I just can't put Damian Priest in the same tier as Gunther right now. I think Gunther's on a skyrocket ship to the moon, where Priest is like a slow rise. He's a slow rise. If you're buying into stocks, right? You're buying into the safe. Damian Priest is Disney. You're going to buy in. You're going to slowly rise. You might lose a little bit someday, but mostly you're going to be good, right? Gunther's like that one Bitcoin, boom, to the moon. If you want quick, if you want some money, if you want to like get on top of something hot right now, it's Gunther. I don't see him dropping the IC title just to be a main event jobber. Where does he go from here?
A jobber is someone who gets beat down and loses a match. You put on one hell of a match and you elevate again Priest and the World Championship because he's beating someone like a Gunther, and now you give Gunther lost. Think about this: Gunther loses at SummerSlam. Mm-hmm. Think about an angry Gunther where he's like, I don't have a belt anymore. Now he's more dangerous. Now you can put him against a feud with Dragunov, and you don't have to worry about trying to, because everybody's gonna know you're not going to drop the belt to Dragunov versus Gunther. Every time Damian Priest versus anybody, you're going, damn, okay, it's Jey Uso. Jey Uso could go over in this match. Oh, it's this guy. This guy could go over in this match. You're always having that question. If you're going to put the belt on Gunther, that's not a one-time thing. That is a year-long possible reign. That's why it makes sense. Give it at WrestleMania, so it's a WrestleMania to WrestleMania. With Priest, again, right now, every paper PLE that we've predicted, that we've gone over, we're always going, okay, hey, Drew versus Gunther at SummerSlam. It makes sense for Drew to go over. Damon goes over. It's always a question. Where Gunther, you're not having that question no more. You're going, oh, Gunther's going to win it. There's no way. But if you can have a angry Gunther going into Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, whatever, possibly, and then going into winning the Rumble, going into WrestleMania, winning that belt on the grandest stage of them all, which will be the ultimate trophy from Triple H to his guys, you're saying, to reign for the whole year on Netflix. That makes the most business sense to me. That makes the whole thing to me. And again, I'm so sick of people saying, "Oh, this feud doesn't need the world title." The world title means so much, and it should be brought more. Yes, you don't need the title for Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, but it would make that feud mean so much freaking more if Finn Balor goes, you know what, you're weak. You want to do all this, you're going to break away from us. I'm going to take that belt from you. And now you have an unbelievable feud between one of the greats and Finn Balor against Damian Priest. I would rather see that title feud than a Dragunov versus Gunther. Gunther wins the title. Where do you go from there? There's nobody who can challenge Gunther with the title. Not right now.
Why not?
Past WrestleMania, yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Why would John Cena's not coming now?
Hold on. Not now. Hold on. Chill. Chill.
Come on. I mean,
what do we associate John Cena with, right? Hustle, loyalty, respect, beating down Miro or Rusev, going the Hulk Hogan of our time, right? Now we have a Gunther winning this title, going into Berlin as the champion, as he should, as he will. When Cena does make his return, first night on Netflix, that's where we kick off the feud. Gunther's already had some dominant wins. Gunther's done this. Gunther beat him, whatever. Who's going to stop Gunther, as you say? First night on Netflix, why not? Have your American hero, John Cena. Boom. John Cena loses his first match. Then it leads on into something else where John Cena finally dethrones Gunther to win his world record championship. Then he goes on his run. The circle of life. We had babyface Seth babyface Priest. Now it's time for a heel to hold the championship. I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's time for the shift. We need that shift. It's going to be so huge for that title and for like the Jey Usos and everyone else that wants to wrestle in the main event against a heel like a Gunther. Yeah, they'll probably lose. Yes, Dragunov will get a shot and lose, but it's the build up. He's going to dominate up until Cena. That if you want Cena in that World Heavyweight Championship to be important, like you want it to be, like you said last week that you wanted it to be, that would make it important. John Cena wants that from Gunther. That's all I'm saying. Make it happen. It could happen starting tonight or starting next week at SummerSlam. And then have Damian Priest in his little feud with Finn Balor. Because it makes sense. Damian Priest says, I don't need you because you're not a champion. That's what he told Finn Balor. People need to remember that line. Now they don't need him after SummerSlam because he's not a champion. Same thing for Rhea. That's what Damian Priest said. I'm the leader. I'm the champion. I don't need to listen to you, and I don't need you to win matches because you don't even have gold yourself. Finn Balor no longer needs him. He said that. That was a seed that was planted, and nobody is bringing it up. That was right there the story. So now Damian Priest is going to know what it feels like not to have a championship and get kicked out and not be feeling wanted. It's been brewing this whole time.
There you go. There you go.
But we both, either way, though, I'm cool with.
Absolutely. And again, convincing argument from you, I would say. But I can see, or I'm going to lean towards Damian Priest because it's the obvious thing. You say Gunther goes over, everybody's saying Gunther's going to go over. But I could see the swerve being Damian Priest, just like I could see the swerve. Damian Priest, see people, oh, Gunther's going to win. Damian Priest. Oh, Cody's going to win. Solo Sikoa. And that's where we are. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the main event at SummerSlam. This is the main event for the undisputed WWE Championship. So, I've made it known. It is no secret where I lean here. Justin spoiled it. But he's right. I spoiled it already, so it's fair game. But I'm going to let you roll this, and then I will follow up. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. Where do they go here? Where do they go from here?
I just poured my heart out. I don't think I have anything left, man. But let me just Cody it up. Let me just try to tough it through, power through it. Maybe I might cry a little bit.
Tattoo. Yeah.
I might cry a bit about, man, take me. So
he does a little head shake.
So I think I think he does a sniff.
Yeah.
I think Cody wins. I think Cody has to win. Everyone wants Roman back. And how do you get Roman back if Cody wins? That's my question. That's my only question. Right. I don't understand how Roman can make a comeback.
Why would he come back?
Why would he come back?
If Cody wins, why would he come back? What's the point?
I don't think he's coming back.
Oh, really?
I don't think he's coming back on Smack or on SummerSlam. I don't think this is the time.
That's fair.
Solo's mission is Roman lost our title.
Yep.
Now I'm the tribal chief going to go win our title. What happens when he loses? He's no longer the tribal chief according to his definition.
Yeah, right. Yep.
That's when we see Roman come back. I heard you've been saying these things. I heard you've been thinking you're the tribal chief. Yada, yada, yada. Roman doesn't come back on SummerSlam, guys. I'm not going to keep my hopes up. If he does come back, I will pop.
For exactly what you're saying, if he loses, what's the point of coming back? That's why I truly believe that Solo will get out on top. Nobody expects it. Probably just me. Nobody expects it. It would be the ultimate. Imagine, I said it like this. Imagine the boos. Imagine the arena blowing up with boos when Solo is standing in the middle of that ring with a defeated Cody Rhodes laying there, and they're all putting up their one fingers. Now he has the ultimate claim of tribal chief. The belt that Roman lost. He lost our belt. I'm the tribal chief. When Roman comes back, he has to call me tribal chief. Now I have a legitimate claim to be tribal chief because I have our belt now. It looks, he's putting this up. Everyone behind him is putting his little fingers up. And that's when you hear that music. That's when you hear Roman's music. That why else would Roman come back at SummerSlam?
He's
for
not.
any other reason. Cody wins. Cody's like this with the bell. Woo! And you hear, dun, 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 you hear the music. That's it. Look like he's coming out for Cody. No, Solo has to be standing tall in the ring. Unless Cody gets a sneak win and then they're all beating up on Cody and then the music hits. Okay, but then it looks like he's saving Cody. Does he give a damn about Cody Rhodes? No. It has to be Solo. That's the only way it makes sense. If Solo loses, do not bring out Roman Reigns. Save it. Bring back Jimmy Uso. Let that be your surprise return for the end of the night. Jimmy Uso running in the ring only to get super kicked out of it by whomever decides to run in after him. Is that going to be climactic? That's going to be anticlimactic. The ultimate ending of SummerSlam should be Solo going over on Cody, standing in that ring, finger in air. Paul Heyman comes out. You hear the music. Walks out Paul Heyman. They're going, oh, look at this guy. They don't care. It's Paul. He's trying to, and here comes Roman. Roman has a shirt. He has his glove. Crowd is going nuts. He comes to the ring. He lays them out. And SummerSlam. Then you have Roman versus Solo for the obviously undisputed title, which is their title, and obviously for the role of Tribal Chief. That's why Solo says he's a Tribal Chief, because Roman lost the title. If he wins the title, now he has the ultimate claim. Has to be Solo going over. Makes too much sense.
See, you keep on thinking it's going to be Solo and Roman for the Tribal Chief title.
I know where you're going with this.
You think Roman doesn't roll over? What do they say? Someone said once, I don't roll over in bed for $1 million. Someone said that was some actor. Roman doesn't roll over in bed for Solo. He will come back when The Rock is back. We won't see Roman until Rock is on television. I'm telling you now, that is the story.
But why then? Solo. Why have Solo? To me, I would believe that, or I would say you're right. If Solo was not claiming to be Tribal Chief,
when Solo loses,
if he would have continued saying that I talked to the Tribal Chief, I talked to the Tribal Chief, and he said, and you think he's talking about Roman, and it ends up being The Rock, then I could see that.
Yeah.
But because he's putting the thing on his and he's saying, oh, yeah, Roman this, Roman that.
We're going to find out Rock didn't approve any of that stuff, and Solo went over Rock's head. Now Rock's got to come in there, lay down the law, and then that's when we get Roman. I'm telling you. I am telling you, the power got to Solo's head.
Is your name Josh Kimmel or Vince McMahon? Because that sounds like a Vince McMahon booking to me.
This is not Vince. No, this is way too intelligent. This is way too intelligent for any kind of Vince McMahon. Brother. No, no one's coming. Roman is not coming back for Solo. He's coming back for Rock. Come on, guys. Come on. This is bananas. Am I interested in seeing a WWE championship match between Solo and Roman? No. 0. And then what does Cody do? What's left for Cody? Randy Orton for no title? Although Randy Orton's been eyeing that title? We're going to see Randy turn soon. It's going to be against Cody for that title.
Let me just say this very quick. I just want to say this because I disagree with Justin here. Okay. Why did they call Roman Reigns the Tribal Chief? Why was he the Tribal Chief? Because of the belt. He was the champion.
He was the head of the table.
He was dominating. That's right. He was dominating the WWE. His father and his uncle came out, put the belt, put the thing over his head, and made him the Tribal Chief. Solo Sikoa is calling himself the Tribal Chief because Roman lost their title. Their title. It is about the WWE title. You are nothing. You are not the Tribal Chief without that belt. My thing is, there's you could go in you can have a major story with Solo Sikoa winning the title because of Roman Reigns. And it could still involve The Rock. The Rock is the final boss. Remember that. He is the final boss. He is the one waiting at the end of the tunnel. Solo Sikoa is just a, what do you call that, man? What do
A
you call that?
pawn.
What do you call that in the video game though? It's not the final boss. It's kind of like,
NPC.
yeah, I don't know what it's called, but anyway, he's just one of the bosses. He's just in the corner there. He's that guy. I don't understand how you say putting the title on Solo is a massive mistake. To me, keeping the title on Cody would be a massive mistake in this storyline. You have to have the title for Solo to make him look strong. Makes too much sense. And that's the point. The fans, if Solo wins the match, fans are going to go nuts. That's the ultimate way to show that you made the right decision. Fans are going to go crazy. And then as soon as that, you're going to hear boo. And as soon as if that Roman music hits, it's going to change the other direction. You're going to piss off the fans. But how are the fans going to feel when we want Roman, and Roman comes out? Fans aren't going to give anything about Solo Sikoa being the champion because you know where you're going now. You want a Roman? Here's Roman Reigns. That's my point. The tribal chief position is the WWE title. That's what makes you the tribal chief, not just because you got a bunch of indie wrestlers out of nowhere and now you make yourself the tribal chief. It was never about that. It was about the title. That's where I stand on that.
I'm going to be like dancing next week when Roman doesn't. I mean, not. I hope I want Roman back, but he's not coming back. Period. You're proving my point. Justin has proven my point as well, and I'm proving my own point. And I just seriously, you can't put it on Solo. He's not ready. We say it so many times. They're not ready.
We said he wasn't ready for tribal chief. We were saying, how can all of a sudden he be the leader of the bloodline? How could he have any sort of claim? We were talking about this before we started saying, you know what? I love what they're doing now. Now I feel like he has a legitimate thing. He feels what he did with Paul Heyman. That was a major thing. We all been saying that. But the truth is, look what he's been doing. Look what they're doing with him. Now they're making him look like a legitimate. And that's the other point. He still doesn't have a real claim to it. Because what have you done? You haven't done a damn thing. He's been sneaking his way, and Roman has showed the ultimate thing. Oh, Roman's going to lose to Jey Uso. Roman's going to lose to Sami Zayn. Roman's going to lose to this guy. Here comes Solo Sikoa. Here comes here comes Jacob Fatu.
So if Solo wins,
yeah,
I don't know if then why would Roman come back and reclaim he should bow down as you said the WWE title makes you the tribal chief? So shouldn't Roman fall in line?
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not? He's a tribal chief now. He actually beat Cody.
Did Jey Uso fall in line right away? Or did Jey Uso go for the WWE title and get beat down?
Got beat down.
That's right. You don't bow down right away. Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. He didn't give up the tribal chief. He said, hey, you're in line for the tribal chief. Roman didn't give it up. And Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, they didn't come and say, oh, you're my tribal chief. They didn't do that right away because he had the title. They challenged him. The story writes itself.
Rock comes out first. I'm not saying there's going to be no, the only ending you'll see is Cody kissing his whatever, doing his whatever. That's what we're
at the end. Yeah. So Cody goes over. Yeah.
It wins. We go to black. We're live. We're talking about it. Monday happens, whatever happens on Raw. NXT happens, Dynamite happens, whatever happens on Thursday happens. Friday we get The Rock. You failed.
Yes.
I will have to do this myself. Myself.
Okay.
Rock. I think Rock the only person taking this title off of Cody is Rock.
Let me ask you, what's the pay-per-view after? What's the PLE after SummerSlam?
Bash in Berlin, I believe that's what Justin said.
It's a waste of Rock coming back. I'll tell you this. If Cody goes over, like you say, Cody goes over and he does his kisses and he's holding the belt, and all of a sudden you see a little thing and Solo's walking up the ramp with the bloodline and they're going, oh, I hate you, and it's over and Cody's holding the belt and there's no Roman and there's nothing. It's just the end of Cody continuing his title reign, which has been boring so far, minus the matches.
Mm-hmm.
That will piss off the fans. That will piss off the fans.
And it's going to happen.
That will piss off the fans.
It shouldn't main event
the bigger story. The bigger story is Solo going over and Roman coming out, and then that goes on like that. Not Solo losing to Cody, and then Roman comes out and stares down. Oh, now I'm going to get you. You're not the real tribal chief.
It's It should not.
That's my opinion.
Show.
My opinion.
It's gonna piss off fans because guess what? Because Roman didn't come back, and it doesn't make sense for him to come back. It should not be the main event. The main event should be
See, if it wasn't the main event, I would say Cody goes over. Easy. If it wasn't the main event.
But you're expecting Roman to come back, and it's going to be a letdown.
That's why it's the main event.
That's going to be a letdown because he's not coming.
Then it shouldn't be the main event. There's no way Solo versus Cody should be the main event unless Roman's coming.
Exactly, and it's not going to happen. And you saying, oh, having Cody win and cheer and whoa is going to no. What's going to piss people off is Roman not coming because everyone is.
But that's the point because then you realize, wait, Roman's not coming, and isn't that the ultimate knock on Cody? It's like, damn, you should be enough, but we want to see Roman back. It was more interesting when Roman was back, when Roman was here. Mm-hmm. Everybody we want to see Cody with the belt, but now you're like, well, damn. We're getting good matches. We're getting great matches. And I think Solo versus Cody is going to be a great match. I think they're going to do a great job. It's going to make Solo look really good no matter win, lose, or draw. But it's the in-betweens. The stories are predictable. The feuds are meh. You know, they pulled the Mark Henry with AJ Styles. The match saved it. The first match was killer. But the stories have been – Damian Priest's stories have been a lot better than Cody's.
Rock is coming back. Don't worry. It's going to get good.
Rock comes back at SmackDown?
Rock comes back before Roman. Book it. There's no reason for Roman to come back if it's not Rock. I'm telling you. Solo's a mid-carder.
I think Rock comes back later. That's what I think. Rock comes back later on. And remember, he has this thing with Cody, which would be the reason why Cody might keep the belt. But again, predictable. I think that's Vince McMahon was predictable. Triple H is not. So
yeah, we'll see. I'm excited.
I'm excited about SummerSlam. And again, and everyone, you know, with the Cody talk and what you're saying, what Justin's saying, I get it. No arguing, just opinions. I stand by my thing. And again, I don't mind being wrong. I know what I would pop for.
Hey,
I know what I would be excited for.
You were wrong last week.
What's that last week? About what? What did I say?
Joe Hendry has to win the TNA champion.
I knew you were bringing that up.
And who said, sorry, Dolph Ziggler is your main.
Wait a second. Hold on. And how did the fans react?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. I know. It doesn't matter. But I'm saying
it doesn't matter.
WWE, TNA, they don't give a damn. It's the story. They made Dolph Ziggler or nickname it the world champion, and which is great.
Guess what? They're coming. TNA's coming next week.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah.
I want to go see Joe Hendry and of course Dolph Ziggler, our Nick Nemeth. I want to go now. It's only $20 to go sit at the ringside, so I might go do it. But I think it's a Saturday night, so I got commitments, of course. But they made the right move with Dolph, and of course WWE is going to make the right move having Rock come back before Roman.
But see, here's the thing, and that's right. Majority everybody wanted Joe Hendry to win because he has the heat behind him. He has the fire, whatever. But again, it becomes obvious. It's like, okay, we're gonna have Joe Hendry go over just because the fans want it. That's not wrestling.
I will say this: you and Justin can be the heart. You know, predict with your heart. I just use my head, and I know. Okay. I know what's best for business. All right. And Joe Hendry's, honestly, that whole situation, I have a different opinion on. Joe Hendry's much bigger than TNA.
He is.
And I think him focusing on the NXT championship, if it ever gets there, is a bigger thing for him.
Absolutely. He just did this today, which again I found interesting. He wrote NXTNA. He put NXT and TNA together when he was promoting because he's going to be doing a concert at the Great American Bash. But again, the fans wanted Joe Hendry to win. The fans wanted Cody Rhodes to win WrestleMania 40. Or was it WrestleMania 39? I'm mixing up. The first one. I don't know which one was
the first one.
Right?
39.
39. Thank you. They wanted him to win at WrestleMania 39. When Roman went over, boring bullshit, blah, 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 which again, it was a great match. But I'll let you get your point.
I predicted Roman to beat Cody.
I predicted Roman too. It made more sense. Again, it means more to the story. Roman wins. You have another year of great Roman matches with whomever. Cody continues to build it up. Cody wins the next one, and it's beautiful. It's a huge win, in which it was. It's the same thing. The fans always want something. The majority, the internet, they do their little thing. They don't get their way. They get mad. But then later on, they go, damn, that was great. Oh.
guess what? The
Take it easy.
the
Trust the
casual
process.
the casual viewers that the TNA wants, everyone wants. I want casual viewers. I don't want only hardcore wrestling fans watching this. I want casuals to get in. Oh, I'm
Sure.
getting into wrestling. I'm going to tune into this show because they're for me. TNA wants casual viewers. You put Nick Nemeth in there. You don't put Joe Hendry because Joe Hendry, we all love him. But guess what? A lot of people, if he debuted on Raw tomorrow night, Monday night, if he was there, do you think he would get any reaction? No. And here's the proof. Anytime CM Punk used to make little jabs at AEW, zero reaction because the majority of the fan base for WWE doesn't even know what AEW is. Same thing can be said for Joe Hendry. He's blowing up on Twitter, social media, Facebook, all this stuff. That's not the majority of the wrestling fan base. Sorry to tell you, little Twitter troll warriors.
I'm gonna hurt
Not.
AEW's feelings. I think I get what you're saying. I think Joe Henry is bigger than AEW in regards of the common fan, because you have Major League Baseball stars and other guys who you would like. How do they know Joe Henry? They're saying Joe Henry. They're singing Joe Henry's song. Joe Henry has put himself over as a. I think if Joe Henry appeared on Raw, Monday night, the fans will be singing his song.
I don't know about that.
I think so. That's why when he made those comments about AEW, CM Punk, nobody made a mention because the WWE fans, the ones who actually enjoy storytelling and everything else and whatever, they're not paying attention to AEW. They don't know about the internet. They don't give a shit. They probably read about it and they don't really care. So to them, they're like, who, what? Okay. Of course, those who actually know the backgrounds or paying attention to the story, the behind the scenes, we got, that he was talking about Jack Perry on that. He was talking about this. Oh, he was talking about Tony.
Well, the same thing could be said for Joe Hendry, though.
But Joe Hendry is on screen. Everybody knows his song. Everyone says, "But you're anytime you tweet, you go, I believe in Joe Hendry."
I don't tweet. What's tweet?
You tweet. You know damn well what I meant. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Yeah. But what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
How much TNA do you watch?
Zero.
But you know who Joe Hendry is.
But guess what? Guess what I did? At Slammiversary, I checked to see who won. I saw Nick Nemeth won, and guess what I did? I went on YouTube and I looked up TNA, whatever. Like after, how they do promos afterwards. I looked up Jordan Grace's highlights. I didn't know Fandango was in TNA. I looked at his. I don't think I would have done that, or I don't think the casual viewer would have done that if Joe Hendry would have won. But they see a familiar face they've seen on TV on USA Network for 20 years, or 15 years, or whatever, however long it is. Then they'll go, "Oh, Dolph is over there now. We wish WWE pushed Dolph, but they never did."
True. 100%.
So let me go over there and see what's going on over there.
And the other one, I seen a lot of fans. Oh, they should push Mustafa Ali. Well, guess who Dolph's about to face in TNA, or Nick is about to face in TNA? Mustafa Ali. Yeah. And I only know that because I follow TNA on Twitter.
I only knew that because I went on YouTube to search it out. I would have never.
I went. That's what I did. I did the same. I put TNA wrestling on YouTube because I looked it up to say, oh, let me check out their network thing. And I was like, I'm not going to pay for that. But I went to, but they have a free channel on, but just very old though. It's like the old pay-per-views, which is cool. But I went on YouTube and I saw Joe Hendry with dark hair singing a song as he came out. It was hilarious. And he was facing, I'm going to say Rene Dupree, but that's not right. Who was, oh my gosh. Hold on. LA Knight. What's LA Knight's old name in TNA? Max Dupree. Max Dupree. Was it? No, it wasn't Max Dupree. No. Was that? That was WWE.
Gosh, you're. Hold on. Gosh, darn it. This is dead air. You said Max Dupree. You got me all messed up. About Eli Drake.
Eli Drake. Did you say I'm on meth? What did you say?
It's Eli Drake. On meth? It's Eli Drake, right?
Eli Drake. Yeah. Yes. So, but I watched that and I really enjoyed it. And it's like, the only reason I put it on was because of Joe Hendry, And
we're different. The only reason I put it on was for
Nick
Nemeth. But I do like Joe Hendry. And if Joe Hendry would have won, I still would have, because I'm still one of the people that I follow it. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about like my brother. You know what? Good example. My buddy Danny was a huge wrestling fan back in the day, has not watched it. We had a pool day. I think I even brought this up on the last show. We had a pool day he's like, yo, Josh, I've been checking out WWE. I said, oh, cool. What do you like? Oh, this live stuff is cool. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. Oh, did you check out AEW? What the F is that? Okay, so you don't know what AEW is. Well, do you believe in Joe Hendry? Who? Josh, like he didn't know any of that. But if I would have said, hey, Dolph Ziggler's a champion over in TNA, he would have been like, oh, Dolph, I always liked him. That's the people they're trying to get to watch TV.
I hear you. The make sure I'm not missing anything here.
But
Justin,
I
I
believe
believe in Joe Hendry.
I do. I love Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
I'm literally thinking about buying $20 tickets to go watch TNA at the fairgrounds. The same place I graduated high school.
There you go. Do a live show right from there. Give your live reaction.
See, when is that? What is that? I'm actually going to look up when it is. Because I talked to Koffler, my co-host of Real Talk Wrestling. I'm like, dude, we should go just for to have fun. Because I didn't know like Fandango. I would love to see Fandango again. I think he was great. Same thing with Mustafa Ali and Nick Nemeth.
Yeah.
Jordan Grace. Like I think it'd be a fun show to go to. TNA Tampa. It is. Oh wow, TNA Tampa. That do not Google TNA Tampa. You guys didn't know we had a lot. We have a lot of gentlemen's clubs. A lot. And apparently there's I'm not going to plug you, but there's a gentleman's club called something similar to TNA.
That's awesome.
But anyway, actually TNA's on Friday night. So I could probably go Friday night and give you guys a report on
there you go. Tell
Saturday.
us what you think, what you thought of the live show. I used to go to TNA Wrestling when I went to college down in Orlando, when they were going out of Universal Studios. The main event Mafia and AJ Styles Samoa Joe. It was a fun show. It was the Russo era back then. Yeah. But all right. Any final thoughts, brother?
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm excited for SummerSlam. I don't think SummerSlam has been this good in years. And I'm excited to talk to you about it. And I still believe in Joe Hendry, even though I just said I didn't want to trash him. I didn't want to think any more negative. I don't want people to think I'm negative. I love Joe Hendry.
It's too late.
It's okay. Let's go SummerSlam.
All right. Oh, Justin, everyone who tuned in, Justin Finstanza. Let me make sure I don't miss anybody here. Forgive me, guys. Terry, everyone. Michael Vogel in the house. We appreciate you. Everyone else who watched, who didn't comment, we do appreciate you. If you watch us tomorrow, which would be tomorrow for us, but same day for you, on the Go Live Sports app, thank you for watching. If you're listening to us on the No Holds Barred Wrestling podcast, we appreciate you for listening. Until then, catch us next week for a live reaction show soon after the WWE SummerSlam PLE. We're going to react to everything. We're going to react to Damien going over on Gunther, Drew McIntyre going over on CM Punk, the Seth turn. We're going to react to Cody dropping the title to Solo and the big Roman return. We're going to react to all of it. And I'm going to sit here going, I was right. But until then, we appreciate you. Like and subscribe. And until then, take it easy.